Don't know if anybody's going to pop up live or not. I'm live here. I've got my foot up in the stool here. My sore foot. Work on my foot pieces. Anybody there? My new apron. Got chicken on it. Anybody there? Hello, June. I'm just kind of killing time. I'm sitting here with my foot up. You can't see it, but my foot's up on the pillow in the stool here beside me. I'm still working on my foot pieces, but I made another stack that I needed to press. So I've just decided I'd sit here just for a few minutes and press them. I've set my timer. I'm not going to stay here very long. How are you today? I'm coming right along on this quilt. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've got 10 blocks made, and I need 20. I'm doing pretty good too. I've not been out of the house much today. I did hobble down to milk the cow, and I made breakfast and I made lunch. But other than that, I've just been kind of sitting. Hello, Heather. Thanks for stopping in. I just was getting a little bored, so I thought, why don't I just see who wants to chat? Anybody want to come up and chat with me? Chat in person? I think. Let me see if I can put the link, and then I think you can. If you click on it, you can come up. See if I can do this. Copy. So you're working on a quilt now too? If y'all click on that link, you can come up here and talk to me in person. Hello, Linda. I come by to show y'all my new apron. It says Rita's Rose. I had a friend make it for me, and she dropped it by to me today. And I need to go to the kitchen and make something, but I'm not hobbling around any more than what I have to because my toes hurt and my foot does. Well, I pressed all those. Now I've got to sew my pieces back together like like that. I got that stack. Anybody want to come up here and visit in person? Oh, forgot my cutter. I need somebody to come up here and talk to me in person. Linda, do you ever come up on the split screen? I just don't have much to talk about. I'm not brave either. I think I've just gotten silly in my old age. I do things I wouldn't have done when I was younger. Here, here I said on YouTube. Well, I need my cutter. I went off and left it on the other side of the room, and I need to trim these pieces in half so I can sew them back together. But I left the rotary cutter over yonder. I do. I like my chicken too. You're not dressed. The other day, I think it was Nancy from Our Treasured Home. She was doing a live, and I had went out and done chores with my nightgown on. And I went and put on some clothes so I could go on to her live because I wasn't all the way dressed before then. Then it's been kind of a lazy Sunday around here too. Terry, he's out mowing. He decided he'd mow and clean up the yard some today. It's kind of hot here today. I'm gonna I'm gonna turn off my iron. I've got those pieces ironed that I wanted to iron. We had leftovers for lunch. What y'all have for lunch? Actually, it was leftover pizza. Made homemade pizza last night. We ate the leftovers for lunch, so I didn't have to cook much. Had to heat it up. Times have changed. Yeah, I missed Eileen's live last night. Actually, I went to White Shoulders Farm because they were having their 500 subscriber giveaway. So I went over to it last night, and Eileen's kind of slipped my mind, so I didn't get over there. You know that using that. Let me see if I can make that those plastic tablecloths. They work great. You can just put those blocks up there and move them around and don't have to do any pinning. Now, when I do put them together at the last, I take them to a bed so I can look at them better because I can't reach high. I'm too short. I can't reach high enough on that tablecloth like I want to. But when I'm making the blocks to start with, it works pretty good. I said I'm too short to make them the size of the bed. Hello, Greg. And who? Oh, I've got Linda Peterson. I want to bring you up if we can.
Hello there.
Hello. I don't think I've seen your face before now. So
Yeah, I like the quilting that you do.
Well, I like to do it. I'm no expert at it, but I like to do it. What all do you like to do?
I like to quilt. I like to
Well,
fish. Can. I like to do a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's me. If I get tired of one thing, I can go do something else. I don't get bored. Yeah. Yeah, I don't get bored very often because if I get tired of one thing, I can just go do something else.
Have you found at night, Rita, that sometimes you are working on a quilt and all of a sudden you get up in the middle of the night and you look at the quilt and you go, oh, just one more row. And then it turns into 2 to 3 rows.
Yeah, I've done that. I've got up in the middle of the night and worked on it a little bit more. Stayed up, just going to work a little bit longer, and I'll stay up longer than I mean to. Yeah, I've done that.
Mhm.
And then I've
Oh, yeah.
also put them back and took years and years and years to finish one too. I do both ways. I can either get them done faster, I can never get them done. It goes both ways.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I've done woodworking. I did all of the cherry wood cupboards in my kitchen.
Oh,
And I fell the trees myself.
oh my. Yeah.
Yeah.
That,
So,
that was a lot of work. I know you're proud of them though.
oh yeah, I've got those, and then the bed sets that the kids have upstairs, and then a great big huge dresser in my
Oh,
bedroom. So,
okay.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, whereabouts are you located in the country?
I'm in the northern Illinois area.
Northern Illinois. Okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
I enjoy it quite a bit. I've
you know,
traveled.
like I said, I'm down here in old West Central Arkansas is where I'm at.
Yeah, I saw you come on, and I thought, well, I was watching Jason Crocker, and then all of a sudden I thought, no, I'm going to go over to Rita's live chat.
And I don't plan these. Usually I just let's just do it. So I don't plan them. It's,
Well, yeah, it's
yeah,
Sunday afternoon, and that's what you have to do, you know.
yeah, yeah. Things kind of slow down in the afternoon around here sometimes. If you want them to, they do. So,
Yeah, and I've done, oh, things for other people in the political parties. I
okay.
pick a person, and if I have a sign out in my yard, it's because I like them and
Yeah,
I would vote for them. So it doesn't make any difference if they're Republican, Democrat, or Independent. It's
yeah,
just because of what they stand for.
yeah.
And I've known them for an awful long time. So I really pick and choose quite hard.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Where did you cut the trees at to get the wood though? Do you own property where you cut the trees to do the cabinets? Or
Okay, I cut those trees down on my father-in-law and mother-in-law's farm up in Wisconsin, Elroy in Kendall, Wisconsin. And
okay,
we had the Amish people who planed them for us. And then
okay.
we brought them on down here. We had over 400,000 board square feet of cherry wood downstairs in the basement. And it took about 4 years for it to dry out. So
Huh.
I spent an awful lot of time turning the fans and turning the boards
Okay.
every single week.
Wow, that took a lot of patience then to do that and wait that long to even build them and all. I can't imagine. I'd get antsy. I'd wanted it done yesterday. So,
Oh, I did too. But in the meantime, we were taking the top cupboards on out and bringing them on downstairs into the basement, into the laundry room, and making that into a quote unquote kitchen. in case
Uh-huh.
something would happen in the government, and then you could stay down there. Or
Yeah.
in case it got too hot on the first floor or second floor, then you could go into the basement and sleep in there.
Well,
And
yeah. Be a
yeah,
whole lot cool. Be cooler and warmer in the winter too. Easier to heat in the winter both. Yeah.
yeah. And you know how you see the pantries in some of the channels and stuff like that? How they've got their green beans and their yellow beans and their yellow and green beans all in a row.
Yeah.
When I lived up in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, that's exactly what I had for a pantry in the basement. We had canned beans, and I grew all of that stuff, beets and rhubarb and meat. I canned chicken, beef, and it was all different
Oh
ways
yeah.
of canning it too.
Yeah.
So, and my
Yeah.
father-in-law, he taught me how to make ring bologna, and he had a smokehouse too. So I learned how to make 250 rings of bologna and do it that way.
Hmm.
So, so
Yeah.
June Hansen, she's heard of Kendall, Wisconsin too, huh?
Kindle. I hadn't heard of it, but I'm in the South, so.
Well, Kendall, Wisconsin is really a small town. It's it's about 2 blocks long.
Okay.
You're really, if you sneeze while driving down that 2 blocks, you've lost it.
Okay. Oh. Did it
The
have a
lot,
post office? I guess it had a post office though, probably in a little store maybe. Did it have a
they
yeah?
have a library, and that's part of the post office also. Oh, but in the Kendall, Wisconsin, they have, what is it? If I remember right, they have the only 2 lane bowling alley still set up. And it's
Okay.
really something. And it's owned by the Zerks, and the bar is open on Sundays. And they have, what is it called? Church services there. And then they have, something to eat at lunchtime, and then they open up the bar. You know what I mean?
Right. Oh.
It's quite different in Kendall. And then the next town is Elroy, Wisconsin, and that's a little larger, but not really that big.
Okay.
So that is really something, though, that June Hansen has heard of Kendall. Not many people do hear of that town.
Uh,
I learned a lot of my canning from my grandmothers, my my mom, and my great aunt. And
yeah.
then when I got married in 1970, I learned it from some of the Amish people. They
Okay.
taught me how to use not a pressure cooker, but just a water bath.
And
You
water
know,
bath that stuff for a long time. Yeah,
yeah,
I know a woman. She doesn't do it now because she's old, but she did a lot of stuff just in the water bath. You know that would scare me just a little bit though. But you know,
it scares you a little bit, but when you water bath, um, you only have 4 jars in that canner at that one
uh,
time, and you mark them all. That's what I did that first summer. And I was doing corn, and I thought I'd never get done with the corn. But lo and behold, I did get done with it.
uh,
But the biggest thing that I remember on that farm was I had an old Maytag wash machine in the kitchen, and I would have to have the water sit in there overnight, and the door would be open to go on outside to hang the clothes on the clothesline. Well, a cow came in and sat in the kitchen, laid down, and I thought, this is something I'm never gonna forget about.
oh no, you wouldn't forget that. Uh,
No, we had couple of car batteries at that time giving us the juice for running the refrigerator. And the cow was right beside the refrigerator.
uh,
And it was just something. So, but there's certain hills and places that I remember in Elroy and Kendall that you just say, well, go up to so and so's, you know, hill, go on up there, and then hang a left, and you're getting to the right spot. And it was
yeah,
just really good.
are you seeing the question that June's asking you? She asking if there's some Saxbys that live there.
I don't
Sax.
remember any Saxby's,
Then
but
she talked to some that lived at a steep hill. Where'd that one go? On the bottom of the bad steep and winding roads. Was oh
oh, that was in the Dells. Okay, June Hansen would probably know who Jack Olson is, where the ducks were. I used to go to Jack Olson. He was lieutenant governor at one time. And that's how I know the Dells. So my parents were in the Republican Party quite high, and so it was nothing for us kids to go to the city capital, the state capital. And it was enlightening. We learned how to use the utensils, the big fork, the
yeah, oh, at the
little fork,
fancy dinners, yeah.
yeah, all of those things. And my mom used to sew clothes for us girls. There was 4 of us girls in the family, and she would make all of our dresses, and it was really something. And
Yeah.
that's how I learned from my mom how to sew on a Singer sewing treadle machine.
On a treadle sewing machine. My first time I sewed was on a treadle sewing machine.
And it's
I
fun,
remember.
isn't
Yeah,
it?
I remember when my mom and dad got us girls an electric sewing machine. I think they ordered it from Montgomery Ward. I'm on the side and went and picked it up in town from Montgomery Ward, and that was our first electric sewing machines.
Yeah. Oh, in that farmhouse that I lived in with the cow that came into the kitchen, our bathroom was a two-seater outdoor toilet.
But now,
Mhm. And we had a pump on the outside that had, water, and it took me almost a whole day just to pump water from that pump coming in to fill up the tubs for washing clothes.
yeah,
So, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I remember my grandma. She had the outhouse for a long time, and I can remember when they put an indoor bathroom in her house because she was getting older and she didn't need to go out to the outhouse, and they plumbed her house and put a bathroom in it. And then she was still too tight to use the water, though. She had a wood cook stove, and she would heat the water on the wood cook stove. And then when she get there to wash the dishes, then she'd go pour that down the toilet to flush it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just
That
had to save everything. Yeah, or be saving with stuff.
that's like when I canned on the farm and the hot water that was left over, I would use that for supper dishes.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just so nice. Otherwise, I had a creek down the ways from the farm that I dammed up, and that was my bathing area until I found out that the farmer up above could see down. And I thought, oh my goodness.
But that'd be I don't never took a bath out like that. That'd be kind of fun though, If you knew
It
if you knew
was,
nobody was looking at you, so
yeah, it was
yeah,
either that
yeah,
or going over to Leatherberries that lived next door to us. And that was a mile and a half by
oh,
the fields. But if
yeah,
you walked it by the road, it was 3 miles.
yeah,
And there I could take a bath in a bathtub.
yeah,
So I figured, okay, I got a creek down here. So I dammed it all up and I made it so it was safe for myself. And I was, it was just really something.
yeah. I'm kind of envious that I didn't had done something like that. Yeah.
Hmm. But you like to quilt. Have you ever done any applique quilts?
No, not the hand. I've applied some with the machine, but not the hand. I like to do things on the machine. It just seems faster to me. So I'm a machine
Mhm.
person.
Because have you ever heard of Grandma's attic quilt? Look it
Yeah.
up on your computer. I did that one.
Okay.
Yeah,
I have
and I
to.
sold it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Hmm.
Sometimes those are some of the most happiest times in my life. I would spend 2.5 years in making that grandmother's attic quilt. And I followed the McCall's quilting book
Uh huh.
religiously, and I would take out one of those things and do it per month. And that's how I got it all done with other than working full time. So you going by time wise, Rita?
On this live thingy. Is it
Yeah.
that what you're talking? Well, no, no, but I did set a timer because I didn't want to stay on here a long time. But I'll go as long as anybody wants to stay and talk for a few minutes.
Well,
It started out kind of what am I going to say? Who am I going to talk to? But if somebody comes up here and talks, the time goes by fast.
yeah, it does.
It, yeah, it does.
I don't know
Uh,
how you learned how to quilt, Rita, but Heather of the Mountains, she said that she needs to learn how to quilt. And what I did was I took 9 pieces, 9 squares, and I sewed them together and I made a pillow first. And then I went on off to a laptop quilt.
yeah,
And then I made a twin size. And then slowly but surely, I went to a queen size. And you
yeah.
do it in sections. So it's a little easier to handle.
Hmm.
And I've done king size ones also.
Yeah. But I tell you that strip piecing they call it, where you cut the pieces with the rotary cutter and sew them together, and then cut them again, and then cut them how you that. Now that's the way I like to do them.
Yeah, I do too. In fact, I've cut 6 layers of material. I'll get one sharp blade, a new blade in it, and then I'll go for it and I'll cut them all at the same time.
I still don't trust myself to cut very many layers. As many as I've cut, I still don't do that. Oops, sorry. Well, I sat there for 30 minutes, and it says we've been over here 33. So
Yeah,
my little chicken timer went off on me. So, oh,
it's fun. I'll tell you. I was on Alanine uh,
huh?
Kitchen one last night. Alyne,
Uh-huh.
her talk show, and we
Yeah.
talked a little bit of everything, but not as much as what I told you about the farm.
Oh yeah.
And
We've heard some great stories from you today. The cow in the kitchen, and the bathing in the farmer looking.
well, he was up on the ridge, and everybody, I thought, oh my goodness, if he saw me, then that means everybody who's gone along that ridge has seen me. And I just thought, holy moly. But
Oh,
it was really something. And, on that farm, we had a, a telephone that you cranked and it rang next door. It was only connected to one other phone,
yeah.
and that was Leatherberries. And my husband was working with Mr. Irvin Leatherberry at that time doing electrical work. And if Grandma Leatherberry heard it, if she wasn't sleeping, then I knew I could get a little help from her. But most of the time, her main duty was making breakfast. And I mean, we would go out and we would milk the cows. I learned how to milk and feed the cows And then by the end of the time that I was living on the farm,
Yeah.
uh,
June, we thank you. June, we thank you for stopping in and visiting with us. Glad you could spend a few minutes with us this afternoon. Linda's told us some good stories. So.
but it was really something that Grandma Leatherberry was she would make a cake, a pie, and all of the other stuff that you could actually think of having for breakfast: oatmeal, fried eggs, scrambled eggs, bacon, everything. And
Hmm.
I mean, she was in her 80s, and it was that was her main thing to do.
But I wonder if they didn't do all that cooking, if it was on a wood cook stove, maybe they cooked it all at one time. That way they wouldn't have to keep feeding the cook stove with wood and it wouldn't take as much wood, maybe. That's what
Right.
I've wondered. Because my grandma would cook, maybe breakfast and the middle meal, but then she wouldn't make supper. They would eat what they had for lunch for supper, and that way you wouldn't have to rebuild the wood cook fire in the wood cook stove all the time and use so much wood. Is what I'm
Mhm.
wondering. So, or
And
heat the house up in the afternoon too, maybe. So,
and
I
this
mean,
was in the summertime, and they had an outdoor kitchen that she would
okay,
cook in. So
yeah,
the kitchen would be nice and cool. And
okay,
we always had to milk the cows and feed them. And that was after we got up. And lo and behold, we got to eat when the cows had been taken care of in the morning. And that was about 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. So that was a brunch, more or less.
mm-hmm,
So it was really enlightening. I
yeah,
enjoyed it quite a bit. So, and I even learned how to hay the whole
yeah,
bit. And
yeah,
the day before we left the the farm to move on up to Eau Claire, there was a cow that gave birth to a calf. I learned how to pull the calf on out of the cow. So I've done an awful lot.
yeah, yeah. I Let me tell you, all you have to do is click on that link, and then I'll put you up here with us. We're gonna get Justina up here if I can. Can you click on the Can you click on the link? Just two or three messages above.
Okay.
I'm gonna see if we can get her up here. It ought to work. If you click on that one that says StreamYard, there
I
she is. We're gonna. All right, I'm gonna put you up there. There you are.
Hey, I caught you finally.
It was just a pop up.
We're getting better at it. All this talk about quilting, my grandmother quilted all the time. I miss her.
Yeah.
well see you can do quilting too.
I've done a little bit, but not much. I have a friend that loves to quilt. My little dog's in the way. He's say hi, Stumpy.
Hi, Stumpy.
He's just a puppy still. He's 6 months old.
Oh,
There you go.
I still have my quilts my grandmother made me.
That's
I
good
do.
too.
And then my other grandmother's And my aunt could crochet and knit, but I could not ever.
No, I don't crochet. My mama crochets a lot, but she was left-handed and she never taught us girls.
Yeah, my
Wow.
aunt was left-handed and she tried to teach me, and I'm right-handed.
Do you have your another channel open that's causing that echo?
That what?
Are you hearing that echo when I talk?
Yes.
Is there another channel?
I don't know. I don't see anything.
Linda, you hear it, don't you?
I hear an echo. Yeah. But the thing is I'm with a TV station. So they monitor everything that I'm in. Okay. To make it safe, because I do editing and videoing for them. Oh, don't worry.
I can hear fine. It's just a little bit. And
You
I'm in
can-
my room. In my my office, whatever you want to call it.
My office is my kitchen, I think.
Well, I have a kitchen too, but we don't have any kids at home, so my husband has a room and I have a room. And
I've got too much smoke in the extra bedroom.
Yeah. But maybe I should leave and then the echo would go away. Okay.
I don't know.
I'm not hearing it a whole lot.
You're not hearing it?
I'm not hearing the echo.
I'm hearing.
You hear
If
it.
you can hear it, Rita.
Yeah, I hear it.
It makes it hard to talk.
Oh yeah, like when you get on the phone and it echoes.
Well, it's like in a radio station or a TV station when you have other stations close by. Then they will give you biofeedback. Mhm.
Maybe so. I'll have to tell my friend about your channels because she loves to quilt.
It's fun. I'm gonna sign off, but I'll be watching. Okay.
Oh, thank you for coming on and talking to me. Yeah, I've enjoyed it. It's been fun. We'll do it again, okay?
Oh, hey, Rita, you never knew about cows going into a kitchen, huh?
Didn't know that. No,
So
that's the first one for me.
there you go. I'm gonna leave now.
All right. See, love you. Bye.
A minute, I hit the wrong button.
There you are.
Yes,
Is that
I hit the wrong button.
better now?
Can you still hear the echo?
Let me see. Try it again.
Can you
Am
still
I
hear?
echoing now?
No,
I think-
not bad.
I think it's better. I didn't hear it then.
Yeah, it sounds fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think I'm very far from you, Rita. I live in Oklahoma, but I don't live far from Arkansas.
I'm like 3 counties over from the state lines is where I'm at. In the central part of the state is how far I am.
We go to Arkansas a lot. We love it. Our vacation destination.
Okay. I'm
Go to-
sort of in the central part, not the south and not the north, kind of central along the Arkansas rivers.
Yeah. We've been all over. Been to dig diamonds at Murfreesboro.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Mm-hmm. I'd
But
still
yeah,
post the link. to link to your channel if I knew how to do it, but I still don't know how to do that. But you guys that are watching, check out Justina's channel. I don't know how to post the link.
Mine's just about country kitchens.
Justina's
I
Country Kitchen.
yeah.
That'd
I
be.
have two great grandmas that I knew that passed away when I was one when I was 27, the one that quilted all the time, and then my other great grandmother passed away when I was 43. And my second one, both grandmothers cooked a lot, and then those were my great grandmas, and then my grandma was a great cook, so I hung around them a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Learned how to cook. A lot of my stuff comes from them, but they didn't have
Oh yeah.
recipes. You know, a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I like to do lots of different things. I don't have any one favorite thing that I like to do.
No, I do like to make cinnamon rolls. Make them
Yeah.
for my kids when they come. My little puppy, he's always up in my face. He likes to be held, and he's a baby. He's a
Yeah.
mess.
Oh yeah. Those dogs can be a mess, but you get so attached to them. I know when I
Yeah.
lost that little old Jack dog a few months ago, I just cried. But he was old and he wasn't gonna make it any longer.
Yeah, we have an old one like that. He was a rescue. He's a schnauzer. His name is Luke, and we think he's probably 9 or 10. He wasn't a
Mm-hmm.
puppy when we got him. He's getting up there.
Yeah. Well, whereabouts are you in Oklahoma? Just
And
you don't have to tell me exactly, but
I'm outside of Tulsa, about 30 miles.
okay, on the eastern side, western side, or
I'm east of Tulsa. Yeah, I live in Coweta. I
okay.
live close to Fort Gibson Lake.
Okay.
Navigation channel here, not too far. We
Okay.
live on 2 acres, and my husband's grandparents had 40 acres behind us, and the family still has it. So we have just a forest, behind us. It's so thick,
Mhm.
super thick.
Uh, uh,
And
yeah, I miss that little dog, Heather. I still miss him. I was reading the comment. He was adorable, and I did take good care of him. He died right here in my arms.
yeah, it's hard. We had one schnauzer. We had to put him down a year and a half ago. We had him for 14 years. Yeah, he was our baby, and
Mm-hmm.
it's so hard. I couldn't work the next
Yeah.
day. I'm too upset. But I've seen your quilts look so pretty, and I'm I just love quilts. I like your cow
I've got
apron. Are you
my
still
what? My what?
your cow apron? Your apron with the
Cow.
cow on it?
You know, I
Yes.
gave that one away. There was a friend from church that went to work in a restaurant and she wanted some aprons with pockets on it. And that one had a pocket. So I gave that cow apron away. So I don't have that one anymore. But this one, I had a friend bring me this one this morning. Can you see it? It says Rita's
Yeah,
Roost.
that's cute.
So that was kind of the reason I popped on here. I was gonna show my new apron. So
Well, I
don't
love
really
your apron.
I
I
don't really
started
feel like yeah.
it's cute. I love it. I started an apron and t-shirt business, and I do coffee mugs too. So I have, cows. I love the cows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I
I
don't
like
know why.
cows too. Cows. I like the farm animals. Anything with the farm theme is what I like, I think.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We went to church this morning. We've been home for a little while. Fixed lunch, and I got on and I caught you online again.
But Terry was out mowing. He's come in now. I probably ought to get off here. He come there a minute ago. I said I was motioning him to come over here and get the camera, but he wouldn't do it. So he's went
Yeah.
down to sit down now. So.
Well,
But
it's
I
good.
ain't doing much. My toes still hurt, so I've been hobbling around. I tell you, I broke my toe. I know I did.
Oh no, I have done
I
that before.
know.
Not much you can do but hobble.
I know. Have you
Well, I'm
seen the
glad I
land that?
caught you
Yeah. Have
online.
you? Yeah, Linda's asked Justina, have you seen the land that the Arms family homestead just bought? That was the land I was going to buy early this year.
Where is that? What is it? I
Let's
can't
see.
read the message.
Okay, can you read
Okay,
that one
I
now?
can see that one barely. Hold on. I can't see you very well. It's not big enough. The Arms family homestead. I don't know where that is. I'm not from Coweta. I'm from on the other side of Oklahoma. On the other side of Tulsa, on the west side. I have only lived here for about 13 years. I'm not familiar where that is. If I knew where it was, I might could say. It sounds familiar.
Yeah.
No.
Heather wants to know what happened to my toe. Let me tell her what happened to my toe. It's easier to tell it than to type it. But I've got a metal shelf over inside the kitchen, and it's cluttered with lots of stuff. And I had a milk strainer sitting inside of a casserole dish, and I went to pull the milk strainer down, strain the milk, and the casserole dish came, and it fell down and hit my toe. So it was a freak accident, but because of my cluttered and messiness is the reason I done it. But I think that it was, a big heavy one. I think it might have fell in those handles you hold on to. I think it come down across the top of my foot. So it was my fault. If I wasn't so cluttered and messy, I wouldn't have done it. So that's what happened, and I'm paying for it.
That does hurt.
It does hurt.
So if Linda's listening, I'm not familiar where that is. So I would have to ask. My husband knows everything. He's always lived here. I married into it.
Yeah, I've lived in the same place about my whole life. I haven't moved much.
I moved from just as far west as I was to just as far east of Tulsa. I've always been around here. I've never lived anywhere else.
Right?
I don't know how I would do it. I don't know if I'd like it or not. I'm getting too old to move. I don't want
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I kind of would like to build a little cabin on the farm, but I don't want to sell my house. I just want to kind of build a cabin and move just a few things into it and leave the other stuff here in the house. Can't have my little cabin and my big house both. So.
You could have a she cabin.
Well, yeah. Well, I do have a she shed. It was my mother-in-law's little house, so I've got it full of junk too. I've just got too much stuff. I'm almost a hoarder, so almost not quite. But when you have all these hobbies, it takes up a lot of room and a lot of stuff.
Especially quilting. My grandmother had her quilting frame. It was built in her spare bedroom, and she had a rope that she pulled it up when she wasn't using it.
To the ceiling, yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen that.
And
Well,
then
last year, but a little over a year ago, I bought that long arm quilting machine, and it's up in another little house. But I don't like to sew up there. I'd rather be down here in my own house sewing, so I don't like to sew up there. I go up there to quilt when I have one to quilt, but then I like to have my stuff down here where I'm at.
All in one place.
All in one place, but it's not, because I'm still spread out, and I've got to go across the field to go to the other little house. But
We just have ours. This house is, I think, 14 years old now, and
It's
I
that's a new
dread
house.
I dread when I move. And now I need new carpet, and I see things I want to change. My gosh, I need to change some things.
Yeah, no.
But
Well, we built this house 30 years ago, and at that time we didn't really have enough money to do it the way you really wanted it done. But we did it debt free though. We didn't, so we don't owe any money on it, and it's still not done, but at least it's paid for. So even if it's
yeah,
not
that
perfect,
ours is
built
not
two
paid for,
log cabins in West.
but I'm not. I still work. He mows yards still, so he's like your husband. He's out mowing a lot, but he's not today. He mowed yesterday.
Okay.
And I cannot read these. I can't read very many messages. I don't know why I can't see. It's just too small for me to see. Next time I'll have to do it on my laptop so I can see better.
And Linda Peterson built two log cabins, one in Wisconsin and one in Colorado. Was you on here when she said she had cut all the lumber for some cherry cabinets and stuff she'd built, and dried it all in her basement and stuff? 4 years drying that lumber in her basement to build cabinets.
That's some patience.
That's what I told her. I told her I did one of them cabinets yesterday. So we're talking about you, Linda. But I know they've bound to been beautiful.
Oh, in Wisconsin and Colorado, yes. Those are pretty places. Never been to Wisconsin. I've been to Colorado. Never been too much that way. Probably as farthest I've been is Ohio.
Yeah.
And it
Well,
was
I better get off here. I better get off here and see what Terry's. He's listening to me talk to myself up here, I think. But I just
ready.
wanted to show y'all my aprons. The reason I popped on here, and I'll sign off. You ready to sign off, Justina? And
Yeah, good talking to you.
it was. We'll do it again. Okay, we'll do it
Okay.
again.
All
Okay.
right.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.